We're going to be getting into game number 2, or series number 2 of the evening very, very soon. The vetoes have just been done, so just bear with us a moment. Of course, we're just going to pretty much recap what has already happened so far tonight. Now, we have already seen Scarlet beat MMA, which, once again, I'm still very impressed by that. Like, I haven't actually... Scarlet's one of those players I've always wanted to cast. I think that was the first time I've actually cast it. I can't think if I already have.
I have cast her before, but she never fails to impress.
No, that's...
She always... Like, both of those games looked like MMA was
Yeah.
bringing something to the table. It always looked like he had the slight edge, he was in good position, and every single time, Scarlet's gap seeing, like seeing the position to go in, the timing to go in, is absolutely flawless.
Like... actually, I might just steal all these replays, put them in super slow motion, and like record it, and then in like one of those 20,000
I like
frames
to
a
see on
second
her
camera.
vision just when she sees the moment to go in.
Yeah, it's just like the decision maker. I would love to have a conversation with her and just see how she looks at the game or something. It's just so unique. But that was really well played. Now, in regards to, of course, these two players, we have Snute, of course, v Kaz. Now, Kaz is already 1-0 up because he did 2-0 MMA, actually, last week. And that was an amazing series.
Indeed.
And then, of course, Snute actually lost against 4GG, which one of them was being a 2-Rex proxy and Frost, which you never see. And he made it work. So, I have actually spoken with these two players as well because I know them pretty well. They both really want to show their stuff. Snute, especially because he lost against 4GG, so he's like, damn these Terrans. Like, I want to redeem myself. That is actually his conversation. He's like, yes. When he asked me who he's playing, I'm like, Kaz. He's like, yes. Terran, I get to redeem myself. And Kaz, at the moment, he did get knocked out of WCS in last spot in his group. And he practiced pretty hard for that. And I know he did. So he said, like, he really wanted to show his stuff to show that he is still a top Terran and that he can bring it when it matters.
Cass has been probably one of the most consistent players that has ever existed in
Yeah,
StarCraft 2. I obviously came into the scene a bit later than most when it came to StarCraft 2. Cass was there when I was there. He was there before I was there. He's always been on the Empire the entire time as well.
Yeah.
He's one of the players who hasn't moved at all. He's always been good. He's always been on Empire, and he's always been just one of the top Terrans.
Yeah. Like, do you remember the time when it was him and Happy, and you would always look at...
it's always those two.
Do you remember? You would always look at, like, Grandmaster or whatever, a few seasons ago, and you'd always see them, like 1 and 2, and they would have, like, 1,000 games each. And it was like a month and a 6-week season.
And then Lucifron.
And then Lucifron, yeah. Lucifron was, he was always doing very good, and then he just came, like, out of nowhere and really badass.
Yeah. I say this pretty much every time. The game of WCS EU championships, basically, this is pre-Season 1. This is back when it was countries. Lucifron versus Stefano, probably the best game I've ever seen in StarCraft, besides the Squirtle versus, I think it was MMA, actually. It might have been
the
GSL.
Yeah,
GSL
that was
finals.
that GSL. Was that GSL season?
That was sick.
Season 4, 2012, wasn't it?
It was 2012.
Yeah, I think it was season 4 or 5.
Yeah, but that was incredible. I loved that game. That was just one of my favorite things ever. But
that was
Lucifron masterclass on Terran in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Kaz is just popped to the boys' room very quickly, so he'll be back, and we will be starting this game. And yeah, like, that was one of the games, the Squirtle VM MVP. But I actually didn't watch it. I watched the VODs because obviously that was like an insane game.
Yes, everyone did.
The Mothership core. Oh no, the Mothership, just the Mothership, innit?
Yeah, you are exactly like me there. As in, you can no longer call it a Mothership.
No.
You think Mothership core first, and it gets confused because no one builds a Mothership anymore.
No, it's useless. The only time you won a Mothership is against Swarm hosts.
Yes, so your units are slightly more likely to live. I miss Vortex. Vortex. I miss Vortex. I miss Vortex too. But I miss Vortex very much.
I don't so much, because whenever I think of Vortex, I get like negative emotions.
Really?
Well, it was what you had to do to survive against Broodlord Infestor, and I'm a Protoss, so...
Yeah, but like, they've added in more methods as well, so I don't get why they took out that method. Now they have Tempest. They have other methods to deal with it. But I don't get why they took out that one. It wasn't a huge deal. The only thing that... Obviously, the Archon Toilet was incredibly powerful, but...
Well, it did get nerfed slightly, didn't it?
Yes.
And then it got changed again.
But I don't see the problem with leaving it in the game.
I think it was the fact that it was such a... was such a good ability that could pretty much determine the end of the game, or like a game deciding spell. Yeah, it was a game deciding spell, which, you know, it's really annoying, especially in PvP, when you were doing like a 40-minute PvP, you got like 20 Colossus and blah blah blah, and whoever lands the vortex wins that game.
I think they found out that it was like an 80% win rate to whoever landed the second vortex.
Was it?
Yeah, because the first one, the second person always had the positioning advantage.
Yeah.
Although I have seen a video, I can't remember who it was by, but it was someone who threw down a vortex. I keep calling it vortex now. Threw down a vortex, Archons into the vortex with Broodlords.
Are you on about Kiwikaki v Stefano at IPL?
It might have been, but then Archons all go in for the Archon toilet, and then about 20 Banelings also come in and kill off all the Archons.
Oh, what game was that? Oh. You're testing my memory now, aren't you?
Yeah. It might not have been a big game. I just saw it on YouTube at some point.
I think it might have been maybe like a 2v2 strategy or something.
It wasn't 2v...
No?
It might have been 2...
I know that was a 2v2 strategy.
I'm sure it is a 2v2 strategy, because I've done it. I've also the Vortex Nuke.
Yeah.
Which is fun, but I have seen it in a 1v1 where the Zerg lets their units get vortexed and then sent in Banelings. And it was like, oh my god.
Oh, I know, I've seen that as well. I'm sure someone done it to me as well. I can't... That was not very nice. I can't actually remember what that was. If someone is in the chat, let us know, please.
Yes.
We're
please pass it on.
It's one of those things where you just watch so many Starcraft. It's like old deja vu when you talk about these types of things.
It's fond memories.
Yeah. But that is you left me stumped there.
Yeah.
So Kaz still just AFK for the moment, so he'll be back in a moment. Now it is going to be TVZ on Altruism Stronghold, which is the map we just saw. So we kind of have an idea of what could happen. I'm going to expect the command center first because it's Kaz.
Yeah, Kaz likes his macro.
He does, just a little bit. I remember when I first started casting, it was Kaz v Happy in like the Antec attacks. And have you ever seen them two play? And literally, it was like command center wars. It was just like
those two back in those times. It was the slowest thing. That was back when TVT was just Marine tank. It was back in those days. So it was command center, tanks, Marines,
Doom drop.
Marines, wait.
Doom drop.
Yeah. No, it was wait first, then Doom drop. It was wait until one person gets bored, then Doom drop.
Yeah, and it was always Happy. Right? It was always Happy would win. It was 3-0. Like it was like 3 weeks in a row where they both got to the finals. It was always like a 3 or 4-0 for Happy. And the same thing was always happened between Revival and Hyun in the ZVZ. And it was always Hyun who would win. Doing like, literally, you'd see like a 9-pool via like a hatchery first. Like Hyun doing the 9-pool, he would win. Yeah. And then Revival would do a 9-pull against a hatchery first of Hyun, and Hyun would still win. And it was the same with...
While we're on like older games, while we're waiting for Cass to arrive back from the bathroom, favourite StarCraft 2 rivalries? Go.
That was a bit off topic.
We're talking about like Happy and Cass and all that.
Yeah, that's true.
The players who play each other.
I always liked Idra and Huck.
Yes.
Because that was...
the story behind that was just fantastic.
Exactly. The story behind that. And then obviously the alternatum the ultimate moment when they joined forces. That was
good.
Like I stopped liking Huck after that. I unfollowed Huck. I still followed Idra.
Really?
Yeah, but I've unfollowed Huck because I was a huge Liquid fan, and he was doing so good, so I was always so disappointed by that.
No, my favourite absolutely has to be Snute. Still no cast now. It absolutely has to be Nani1 ST.
Oh, at MLG 2000.
I don't really rate him as a player. That just was the biggest burn.
Well, we didn't see that, did we? We had to watch VODs because we're at iSeries.
Yeah, we were at an event while all this was going on, and then the rumour started spreading the next day, and we were like, he said what? That was amazing. Oh, yes. Oh, that one. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the one at MLG Providence. You're on about the one in... The first time, where they actually where it was...
when he pro-brushed?
Yes.
Yeah, that was...
oh, no, wait, no. Oh, wait, yeah, that happened... Oh, my God, that happened as well.
Yes.
I was talking about the first one, where he actually was in
when
an
he proxied.
I can't remember where he proxied, but he was in an interview and said, I don't really rate ST as a player, and ST said, I will destroy Naniwa, and then lost. Yeah. And then Naniwa lost to Leenock. That was Leenock's first tournament. But Naniwa also pro-brushed. See? Best rivalry.
That was that was MLG Providence 2011.
Yeah.
And then
then Anaheim. Yes. Oh no, it was GSL that Naniwa pro-brushed.
Yes, that was the Blizzard Cup.
Yes.
That was that was a big deal. All right, so we're still waiting for Kaz. of course, everyone, thank you for being here. We do also, Derek, if you are watching, that you are the winner of course, the Collector's Edition Heart of the Swarm. We already announced you last week, but I've actually seen it. It's in the room over there, so...
I have seen it too. I am jealous. It's the first time I've seen it.
So, just to let you know, you just received an empty box, because I'm going to steal it. Just so you know. I'm going to steal that key, and I'm going to get the unlocks, because... Actually, I don't have the Collector's Edition, which is...
I don't think I have any skins in StarCraft.
Oh,
I've played so much, but I haven't actually put any of the skins on.
I have the standard skins, like you can unlock from getting like level 30. I've got a couple of rare portraits from like beta and stuff.
I've got the Starcraft portrait. I have that.
I've got that
from Swarming. Is that
That's Swarming, yeah.
Yeah.
With the when they introduced the new like starter edition thingy.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
There's that one. There's the school portrait ones, like the black and white ones. You've seen them, yeah?
I don't think I have actually.
Have you not seen them? Wait, let me show you. Where are the rewards?
I will describe, because the chat can't see it, I will describe it to you. We will radio description the rewards.
Can you see them?
Even though they've probably seen it more than I have.
They're black and white. So.
Oh, there they are.
Oh, there they are. Yeah, and then we've got the 15-year ones.
Those are amazing.
Yeah, you had to win like 5 games in a week or something like that.
That's really cool.
It's still not here. And then we had the 15-year anniversary ones, which are these ones.
Yeah.
And then there's the spawning pool one. Unfortunately, no one can see this. And then of course, those are quite.
They probably all have them.
Well, maybe not.
I
have
the beta ones.
You have the
beta.
beta.
I have those, but I haven't put any of them on. I don't think.
I kept the beta ones because those are the rarest.
Yeah, definitely.
That I have.
Even though, although there was that glitch that even the people who didn't actually reach 30 ended up getting them. Or a couple people who didn't actually reach 30 got the portraits. Yeah, there was a bit of a glitch. It was only like 1 or 2 people, but a couple people did manage it.
I was always glad that I never got like I've considered buying like what do you call it, like World of Warcraft for like the rare ones as well. Oh, and also BlizzCon tickets get you.
Yes, I've been
really
so tempted just to lose every piece of money I ever have to go to a BlizzCon just to get some StarCraft stuff.
Yeah, but you also get like a limited portraits on your online for having your online ticket.
It was the Pandaren. The Pandaren was the first one, but I don't know what the.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't play World of Warcraft.
Oh, it wasn't the first one. That was the 2 BlizzCons ago or something like that. I don't know. Still no Cass.
Yeah. Snoot's actually getting. He's like.
Oh, he's back.
There.
Oh my god. We have a Cass, and it looks like we may be ready to go. We're just waiting for. Do we have a Snute go? We have a go.
He's like, holy jeez. All right, go. All right, there it is. Alright, so we are jumping into this, guys, and this is going to be Altruism Stronghold TE between these 2 players. Another Terran v Zerg.
Indeed.
I like Terran v Zerg. Like, I was watching, what was it? It was ESL last week, WCS, where Apollo was saying that like this is such a scripted matchup, and it really is. And it doesn't make it boring or anything like that. It just makes it very understandable, and like it gives you a standard to also what to expect. But here we are, guys, jumping into game number 1 of a best of 3 between these 2 players. Techa, if you could do the introductions.
Indeed, I can. So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultisim, playing as the Red Terran for Team Empire, we have Cass. And spawning in the bottom right, playing for Team Liquid as the Blue Zerg, we have Snute.
Yep, and as I said, the map is Altruism Stronghold. Now, whenever you look at the map, there's always a few things that you want to look at. The biggest difference, or the biggest thing that you want to look at is, of course,
the players.
Well, the players, yeah. But I meant, like, do you know, like, if a new map comes out,
exactly. Everyone looks at it and it's just like, ooh.
Yeah, what should I do on this? How do I go about? So
it's usually the natural, I'd say, first thing.
Yeah, well, you want to look at of course, how many players are on the map. So it's a 4-player map. So this means, of course, that you can normally play a little bit greedy, based on the fact that if you take a risk or you do something like that to earn an advantage by cutting a corner, it normally doesn't get scouted, or if it does get scouted, it gets.
It's 1 in 3 chance of being scouted.
Yeah.
So.
And then, of course, the fact that it takes longer to react, and that means it normally doesn't get punished, which means you can earn an advantage very early. This is why you always kind of see command center firsts and stuff like that from the Terrans, which it looks like, based on the fact that we're 14 supplying the SCVs heading down there, it is going to be one.
Indeed, we will see. We've already seen the hatchery go down. SCV gonna get that mineral, and then in 3, 2, 1, command center.
Oh, nice time in there.
Thank you very much. I was watching the minerals.
No, I'm glad that you can count. Superb. Now, in general, now, what does Snute actually like to go for? I've cast a lot of Snute, but he does also he throws in a lot of different styles. Like, he can go Swarm Host, he can go Limbling Muta, he can go Hydra Roach and stuff like that. I think he's going to go Limbling Muta. It's a big map.
It's the most common strategy
at the moment as well, yeah.
Mainly because I think Zergs are starting to feel guilty for playing Swarm Hosts.
A bit. Well, it all depends. Like, some have were immediately sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's Protoss, then there's no sorries from any Zerg about playing Swarm Hosts.
Especially with how broken Protoss is at the moment.
Oh.
I'm allowed to say that I'm Protoss.
You can I'm random. I'm technically allowed to say it as well.
Alright, so there's the spawn pool. No gas being taken just yet, so of course he's not going to have any early Bev tech to keep him alive if some hyper-aggressive strategy was coming. Now, his second Overlord went up, so he's going to scout Kaz a little bit later. He's not going to get a massive amount of information, because we should have maybe a Marine. Now, we do have a gas as well, so normally when you go, of course, for Command Center first, you don't go Reaper, you go immediately Reactor Factory. This is, of course, because Circling Speed is, if they go for it, going to be out by then. And
indeed, a very nice call. There is the factory. We'll be seeing the reactor very shortly. And the Overlord will be able to see this as it is floating in that general direction, and we won't obviously see a Marine because the reactor's going down.
No, he's going straight for the reactor. Sometimes they will build one Marine, but you went for the factory first. If you go for maybe the reactor first, you can slip out 2 Marines, depending on how good your or efficient your gas income was.
Indeed, the Overlord has seen the factory and doesn't want to push in too far. Doesn't actually know if there's a Marine. He should be seeing the reactor. There we go. So now knows he can poke in, get a little bit more scouting.
Absolutely. So we do have the gas for Snute. He is, well, okay, he's up to 80. So the next thing we want to see is if he stops mining the gas once he hits 100. At this moment in time, he's still very early game, so I'm expecting him to do this. And no. But then again, he could wait for 50 and get a reactive or defensive Baneland nest just in case. But I'd like to see this, and there's actually a starport for Kaz as well. So he's definitely mixing up. We should see a tech lab in a moment. There it is. So it is going to be Banshee Hellion, which is it's a good composition. And he does have 2 gases, so he could afford the cloak if he wanted. And the fact that he has actually had a better spawning location, because he's going to fly into his opponent's natural, where if Snute wanted to attack his, he has to fly around. And things like that, the Muta's going to take longer to get that later on.
Indeed, Hellions already on their way, and there we go. Starport is down. Mutas will begin production. Sorry, Mutas? Banshees will begin production. There goes the cloak. And Hellions gonna dance around. Queen's not close enough to actually auto-attack there. Not paying attention either. We're going to see some roasting. Will we see some workers go down? 1 worker goes down. He's dancing away. 2 workers go down. Many, many queens.
Yeah, we got 4 queens, and he might be able to get 1 or 2 more. And if he will...
Oh, one more. 2 more.
Cost efficiency a hit.
and
it will die.
Dead.
That was good. He got a scout.
Okay.
He got to see the queens, the gas income. We missed these bad boys. There's actually more in the main base. Get a couple more workers.
On their way as well. I think he's trying to draw the queens out of position and go straight into that natural again. Does see will be seen by the 3rd.
He has to be careful though. He does turn them around. If he keeps losing 2 at a time and he's building 2 at a time, he's always going to be on 2. And
the Hellions go in 2 by 2 and die.
Yeah, and of course he's not going to hit that critical mass, which he wants with the Hellions to your one-shot workers, for example. So he does have 4 out now. There's the first Banshee. Cloak has been researched and is nearly complete. But we do have actually Overlord speed and the double Evo. So this is kind of looking like a lot like Scarlet, apart from without the extra gas just yet.
Indeed.
11 drones as well. So he is macroing up. It is going to be 46 v 38. And
first Spore Crawler is also on the way. 3 Spore Crawlers, 1 for every base, so could be seen as coming, and it may have something to do with the Banshee that is now in the base, wreaking havoc. Are those Hellions going to come and join it? Yes, they are, trying to catch out a couple of, I believe that was the Zerglings, but this Banshee going to be able to deal some mayhem before the Spore Crawler is up. Spore Crawler is now up, but Hellions have also arrived. The Banshee still doing damage just out of range of the Spore Crawler here, chasing the workers towards the Banshee right now. Banshee still doing damage. Hellions will go down, but the vision granted by that Spore Crawler does allow Snute to take down the Banshee.
Just about. It did get 11 kills and 23 workers have been annihilated so far this game. These 2 Hellions, 1 will get surrounded. They are on creep, and Kaz overcommits that, gets an extra drone, but does lose the Hellion in return. The Banshee's going to get some extra kills as well. Even Zergling kills, why not? It does help. And yeah, Kaz has killed 25 workers, so he's in a decent position, but he is down a little bit by supply because pretty much Snute has just been building workers. He does have this pack of Zerglings that are going to come up here.
And yeah, they
get denied.
Yeah, they meet the anti-Zerglings.
Absolutely. So there's the.
Has just attack his own building.
Maybe did he?
I think he just A-moved one of his buildings. I may be imagining it.
It does.
Yeah,
happen.
he A-moved one of his own Hellions.
Oh, okay. Well, I've seen that every now and then. It always makes you chuckle, doesn't it? Just because it happens so fast as well. It's just like pew, and the unit's dead.
This Hellion is inferior.
Oh, we have double factory in production. Is he going mech?
He could be going mech. He already has the Banshees. This Banshee that was harassing the third base of Snute has now decided to dance away. Snute's lair is almost finished though, so he can begin production of those mutas very soon. Yeah,
and he is starting to add on the extra gas. There's gas guys at 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and it looks like he does want to take that fourth base. So of course, he's going to go up to 8 gas very soon, and 8 gas for Zerg going mutas is, that's a nice amount of gas for mutas. Now we do have Blue Flame Hellion as well, and of course we do have a double armor. He's not upgrading just yet from both of them, but it's going to be mech, and I like a little bit of mech play.
Indeed, it's very nice to see mech now and again. It's not as common as it's actually a bit more common.
It's becoming more common.
Yeah,
I would say.
Indeed, and that many queens is enough to scare off even the hardest of Hellions. But here we go, Banshees back into the main base, gonna try and pick off something without being picked off themselves, and gonna be able to get quite a few workers because Spore Crawler can't be everywhere at once. One of these Banshees does take a pot shot, and now these Banshees are gonna have to try and hold off the Zergling run by at Cass's main base. And Cass looks like he may have held off the attack at his third base. Yep, that has in fact been held off, and these Banshees dancing out of range of that vision. We really need to see some Overseers. One Overseer is on the way, and oh my god, Enduring Locusts.
Yeah, this is what I was anticipating. I don't know if he's... Oh, yeah, okay, he has scouted the double armory. So, of course, whenever you scout double armory, you're like, okay, it's mech. And this is what you do against mech. There are a few little bits and bobs that are being added to the mix at the moment, like a couple of Broodlords and stuff like that. But, something like, Swarmhost Viper, Swarmhost Viper of the key units is, little differences then.
And here we go, we are seeing Queens versus everything right now. We're seeing a couple of Zerglings get stuck behind the Queens, but nice transfuses there. Incredible value out of these Queens, keeping them alive. One Banshee goes down, several Hellions, and gonna be able to catch them out. Zerglings getting nice rounds, killing off quite a few here, and the Queens getting the damage done, and that's so many Hellions down. Quite a lot of Zerglings dead as well, but that Hellion does go down, and easily protects his base there. Very nice by Snute.
And of course the units cannot escape either. The Banshees are going to come back into the main. There is a Spore here, so Kaz has to be careful. He has to micro this. And he should see that the Enduring Locust is in production because of the infestation pit is squirming. So, he should start to react and add on some tanks of Thors, which he is starting to do.
You mentioned earlier that adding Broodlords into this mix. I have not seen that before.
There's been a lot of debate and heated discussion between the Zerg players that I've noticed on Twitter about the differences between playing against mech with Swarmhost and Broodlords.
Okay, fair enough. Because obviously, if you can get an incredible army of Infestors, Broodlords, and Swarmhosts, you have the most cost-efficient army ever. Unlimited free units.
Jesus, he's killed 57 workers.
Indeed.
And there's some corruptors.
He's killed 57 workers, but Snute still has 83.
89 now. Oh god, Snute's such a macro god, isn't he?
He really is. Able to stay in the game, and now we're seeing the Swarm hosts in production, which is why I would not be surprised to see this fourth base of Cass being turned into a planetary. Yep, here comes the planetary.
And we don't have the hive being produced just yet. He has built a couple of corruptors, which, okay, I guess that there are a few banshees out and stuff like that, and he will start to add in Vikings, which we can see now. But I'm curious to see if this is for later transition, of course, to Broodlords. He is getting nice upgrades. He's got double Spire as well, so that's
indeed. So it's very possible that he could be doing that.
I believe, I haven't seen too much of it yet to be a master of it. Obviously, I'm not a Zerg or a Terran, so I don't know from first-hand experience. But I believe it goes Swarm hosts into some Infestors, and then into Corruptor, Broodlord, Infestor as well. And
Viper
there are
as well. Already some 4s out though, so we could be seeing them target firing everything that's here. This is a very strong push out of Cass.
This is This is kind of like the standard 16-minute time. He's just before max. And, that is a very scary army. I gotta give him credit. And he is forcing Snute into an awkward position because the Banshees are flying around, forcing him to react to that. And the Swarm Host popping off their Locusts, which aren't really doing too much just yet.
Indeed, Vikings also doing a good job of clearing out some Overlords and could possibly clear up some Overseers, making these Banshees even more cost efficient. The Banshees are currently having to retreat, but it is now... Oh god, Fire Bats versus Swarm Hosts. Swarm Hosts are just so tough with the Locusts. The Viking doing okay though. It will be taken down by this Queen here, but the Fours are all still alive. But they will have to get out of here now due to the second wave of Locusts is coming. But oh wow, quite a lot of shots there on those Corruptors that are able to get out, but this Force falling behind. It does have Corruption down in it as well, so it's going to take that little bit of extra damage. It will probably escape. These Locusts are about to expire.
It's going to be close.
It's close.
No, it's dead.
It is dead. Oh my god, that was close.
That was like they pretty much expired as the last shot was shot there. So yeah, 340. They're so expensive, 6 supply as well. So that was a nice little win there. That's some more production. I'm 99% certain this Broodlord is coming because we have had 4 extra starports be produced from Kaz.
Indeed, he expects it. He definitely expects it.
He did. Yeah, he did produce 4 starports, right? I'm not going insane.
J8 Destructors tab.
Yeah,
there are 5 starports. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 starports. So yeah, that's a lot of production actually. Of course, he should add on a couple tech labs and build some Ravens and stuff like that. The Hunter Seeker missiles.
Indeed.
It's gonna get very technical. By the looks of it, they're gonna hit max. They're gonna be trading for a very long time. We're gonna have loads of Ravens.
We're gonna see. Yeah, Cass is about to have a very bad time at his 3rd base. However, if it's only 4s protecting it. That's not good other than the planetary, but we're seeing Hellbats in the natural expansion of Snute, and we're also seeing the entire army of Cass down in the bottom left about to cause some mayhem. It is 4s versus Locust at the 3rd base of Cass, and 4s versus everything else. Oh god, that 4 is dead. But those rocks are going down. We're about to see... Oh, it's 4s versus Locust are both...
We have a Nidus as well. Also, it's important to point out that Kaz is at 2-2. The 2-1 or 1-1, depending on the unit composition for Snute.
Oh god, here we go. The Corruptors have also moved in, throwing down Corruption, but 4s are just being picked off one at a time here. Needs to hold position next to his planetary so that he can get the extra splash damage. Nidus Worm is happening. Nidusing his own base to try and to keep himself alive from this one Hellion.
From one Blue Flame Hellion. And here we have a couple of command centers forced to left.
Indeed, but that planetary fortress will be able to hold back. The Nidus Worm does go down, so he will be able to keep that one base alive. Nice repairs going down here for Cass, going to be able to keep that planetary fortress alive, but needs to deal with this. He needs to get these swarm hosts away from his base. And
he should be able to deal with these quite soon. We have only 6 Corruptors. We do have 8 Queens, which is fairly scary, actually, with the transfuses available to them. But, if he gets a lot of Vikings, a lot of Banshees, some Ravens, they grant the detection, and of course Banshees can just fly in and pick them off.
Indeed, Corvid Reactor was just finished researching.
Yep.
So we are going to see these Ravens going to be very useful here in helping detect. Oh god, more 4s being caught out by Locust there. It's never a pretty sight. It's so sad.
Yeah. Now Snute, I love this by Snute. It's something that I believe in future will become quite standard or more common. He is actually using the Nidus as a Nidus network. He's not just a fast travel system. And
indeed, he's throwing them around at multiple places. He's allowing himself to defend his own bases and harass his opponent.
Exactly, and this is going to be really scary, Swarm hosts are immobile. You want to abuse that. You want to drop. You want to force them out of location. If they can just get in a fast travel system and start...
Can Locusts go into a Nidus?
I don't know. It's quite rare. I don't know something.
I will have to test this when I get home just to see if it's possible. But, oh god, so we're going to see remains of 4s being kicked around here. We know what went down. We know what went down here.
Yeah, it's just literally Swarm host, Locust killing Thors.
Yeah, it's horrible. This is horrific to watch. Cass, though, is holding up against it. He's getting another base as well. So he's not in an awful position. He's in an annoying position, but he's not in an awful position.
Yeah, and I believe one of the Spires got picked off, so there's only one Spire, no Greater Spire.
There's a lot of Banshees coming down now, because they are incredibly good at killing off the Swarm hosts, and they're pretty good at helping out kill these Locusts.
Absolutely. Now, still no Greater Spire, but the upgrades for those flyer attacks are really getting quite scary. We do have Hellbat drop here at the natural, or the third base, whatever you want to call it. Queen will get picked off. And there's not much here to actually defend it. One Thor and a Hellion.
Oh, it's going to escape. It will escape. A 4 finally runs away.
And yeah, a lot of damage does get dealt up here. Now we have 74 workers in total who have been killed. Kaz has actually dropped quite far in supply. He's having a very hard time rebuilding his units, even though his economy is very good. So I think he's just very, very distracted by how many engagements and stuff are going on. There's a Hunter Seeker missile does go off. There are Spore Crawlers here as well.
He needs to start pushing out. He needs to kill off these Spore Crawlers and get onto those Swarm Hosts. But more Locusts have come out. The second he moves forward, does pick up the Spore Crawler. But the Locust gets some free shots off on those Force. Manages to retreat to his 24s. But that Force being focus fired. Oh, and down it goes. And oh, would he get another one? Oh, God.
Maybe even the third.
Oh, the Expire's coming. The Expire's coming.
Lucas do so much damage.
Oh my god, Corruptors versus Vikings here. The Corruptors moving in when the Vikings try to move out and pick off anything. But this Planetary Fortress is also going low. All the workers here have been killed off by Locusts. And down it goes.
Oh my god.
The 4's dead.
Look at the units
the
lost.
Orbital's dead. This is not nice.
This is not good at all. Kaz is actually dropped. Look at the units lost. It's 23,592 v 9,650. That's absurd.
Indeed, and he needed to move out. He needed to kill that earlier before the Corruptors got to a critical mass, and now he is under an incredible amount of harassment. There are now tanks, which are going to help ridiculously. Oh, nice point defense drone, but there's so many Locusts. It's pretty much made irrelevant here. Killing his own building with his tanks. This is just irritating right now for Cass.
Yeah. This is getting very, very scary for Cass. He's not dropping too low in supply. The worker count is both quite low for for both of them. So their armies again scary area, and especially Snutes. And he still hasn't gone for that Great Spire just yet. And nope.
Nope, nice repairs there by Cass, keeping that alive. But I would like to point out, we can see the current money for both players. That kind of shows where this is going at the moment. We have 6,000 minerals, 2,000 gas for Snute, now 90 minerals and 500 gas for Cass. He's having to spend it all just to stay alive.
Yeah, definitely. Now, this is also why the Broodlord switch is kind of scary as well, because normally you want tanks to deal with Swarm Hosts and Locusts, because you kind of pretty much have to have tanks, because otherwise you just can't deal with them so efficiently. And of course, Broodlords...
Oh, Vikings.
Getting sniped and yoinked here as they do get abducted and stolen and killed off. Queens as well, doing so much damage to them. Hunter Seeker missiles, are they going to explode? No. Snute does run away in the nick of time. The Planetary is taking a bit more damage up here, but is being repaired.
There's not enough repair here. There's not enough minerals. That is definitely going down, I think. Second wave of Locusts will kill it.
That's a good point. It's at 200 health. It's nearly 100. And the repair... Okay, it's starting to go up.
And the wave is about to arrive. There's so many Vikings, though, doing massive amounts of damage. Really nice point defense drones are helping here. Here we go. There's a random turret. That is going to help. Yeah,
it was a bit of an anchor point, I guess. There's the Planetary getting picked off.
Yeah.
Swarm Host is still running up the ramp here. Kaz is going up in supply, though.
He is going up in supply. It's slow and it is steady.
Yeah.
He's going outside, but the problem is, as you pointed out, he's going up in supply in tanks.
Yeah.
So the second that Cass is able to kill off the Swarm Hosts, we're going to see Broodlords.
But there is no Great Spire, so Snute does have to be careful.
Oh, wow, he's Hunter-Seeking most of his Vikings there as well, accidentally.
A lot of damage there. 12 more Corruptors are in production. He's up 19 already.
The Vikings are so low. There's so many Corruptors here. Needs to kill off the Vikings first.
The Queens doing so much damage to the Vikings from the ground.
Last Viking. The last Viking does escape. But the Ravens also took a huge amount of damage there. Down goes a Raven. There's no extra air units here. There's a couple more Ravens. But the Corruptors now own the skies. There's a couple missile turrets here, but Corruptors are so tanky, they're just going to be able to charge through this, chasing down the remainder of the air army. And if there's going to be a tech switch, now is the time from Smoot. Well, Cass calls a GG, and Snute takes the first game. Yeah,
that was a hard game for Cass there. That was you could if you look at that game there, you know that Snute definitely played that with a very long game term plan, because he went for the Spire. If you notice, he went for double Spire. One of them got picked off, which was going for the attack upgrades. But Snute had +3 armor, 0 attack for his flying units, which is something you never see. So he was going with the idea that he was going to force Vikings, get the Corruptors, and obviously get the armor so the Vikings are not as powerful against them. And it worked out really well.
He was able to pretty much ignore the Seeker missiles as well. They've obviously been nerfed hugely in their damage from back in the day, but with that amount of armor, they literally just shrug them off and are able to just continue attacking.
I feel a bit bad there for Kaz because
absolutely
I hate swarm hosts. So
I also hate swarm hosts.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's such a grinding unit because it's like the units lost tab showed it there. Like in my opinion, up until the swarm hosts happened, and the swarm hosts were the fair enough. Snute didn't create the game, so we can't give Snute like trouble or whatever for doing it. For going them.
He's using what he's been given, which is exactly what you should be doing as a pro.
Exactly. So he reacted perfectly for what he saw, and he took the win. And if you look at the units lost, it was over double. That was Kaz lost like 2 whole armies more than Snute did that game.
Yeah, a lot of that was Falls though. Let's be honest. A lot of that was the mech army that was just picked off.
That is true. All right, so here we are. Going to be Yonsu. Of course, it is a loser's choice system here, so it's a veto system to one map. That will be the map that we start on, and then from that point on, the loser gets to choose. But here we are, jumping into game number 2. If you could do the introductions, please.
I can absolutely do the introductions. So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as the Red Terran, playing for Team Empire, we have Cass. And spawning in the top right-hand corner as the Blue Zerg, playing for Team Liquid and 1-0 up in this series, we have Snute.
Yep. Now the map is Yonsu, 2-player map, one of the smaller maps that are in the map pool. So you normally see a bit more aggression on this.
Indeed, I think Cass is desperately trying to avoid swarm hosts.
You think?
Yes, on this on this map, it's going to be very rare. Yep, this is happening right now.
Yeah, he's definitely avoiding those swarm hosts, trying to end the game before Snute gets his gas geyser.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is a Reaper one as well.
Indeed. I really like this position on this map. It's a really nice position.
That is, that's not going to get scouted. Well, actually, it could eventually, by this overload, maybe. Yeah, that's in a position where, is he actually going for a it's not a Reaper build.
He's doubling. He's absolutely doubling.
Ooh.
There it is.
And this is interesting because it's... Wait, we actually have 2 drones coming down here. One to scout and one to build that hatchery.
Yep.
He is anticipating this and...
He's thinking it's a proxy in his base. Where is that line going? Not in the right direction. Will he? The question is, will Cass go through the tower? I don't think he will try and go around. But the question, he has to go
this
through the
drone
middle.
shouldn't stay at the tower though.
No, it will go there, see if it can see anything, see if it can see any barracks, and then move on out. Yep, there it goes.
Yep.
It's heading back home.
And this is one of the things, like, he doesn't obviously have, a close reinforcement distance with this. So he's got to wait for probably maybe 5, I would say.
Yeah.
5 at minimum is a good count. Ooh, there's a Marine. No, that's an SCV. I thought that was a Marine then. This Overlord is dead, by the way.
Yes, that Overlord is screwed.
Dead. You are dead, brother. And that is so dead. And that is good. That's a big deal. That's also going to tip Snute off. He could run around that, which maybe he could do. Like, you run around that, send like the 2nd or 3rd Marine to kill it off. But this is going to tip off Snute to what's happening now, especially with these 2 SCVs.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're coming back. They're
just
going
in case
to the
they get picked
tower
off.
This is true, because the Marine is currently delayed, killing off this Overlord. And Snute is reporting his spawning pool is about to finish up, but there are 3 Marines. He knows what's happening. Spine Crawlers will be in production any second now.
Yep, and he isn't supply block. Well, just on the tip of it for a moment there. We do have 3... Oh, sorry, 2 rather. Not the 3 old school style, which you actually need 4 here anyway. So we do have Zerglings and a Spine Crawler.
Here come the drones, and we'll see the Micro trying to get away from there.
No.
Almost! More Marines, though! There are so many Marines. Here come the SCVs! Trying to kill it off. One of these Marines are getting picked out, but so good Micro here from Cass.
And the drones are so far away. SCVs.
Oh, here come the Zerglings.
Oh,
and there's no high ground vision. They're miles away from the bunkers, though.
GG.
These Marines are caught out of position here. Needs to Micro away. Is able to kill off these Zerglings. Needs to get to the bunker. Get to the bunker, Cass! Able to repair the bunkers, and we're seeing 1 Zergling. The Spine Crawler's finished up. The SCV's getting into the bunker, and the Marines are in. Spine Crawler being focused down, has to retreat, and this hatchery is taking a lot of damage. More Zerglings are being produced, but this is not a good position.
No, absolutely no. It's 8v14 workers. Fair enough, there are 2 hatcheries. So if he does hold this with the hatchery, he can now produce his opponent in drones.
Yes, and we can see the beautiful range of the spine crawler. It's able to outrange the bunker that has equal range to it.
Yeah, and I love this. Illusion first popularized this quite long ago. Obviously,
it's so beautiful.
Yes.
It's so beautiful to watch, and we're seeing the bunker being repaired as well. Zergling's, though, going to try and stop this in its tracks. Looks like they may get this bunker, and the hatchery is still alive. One more Marine goes into the bunker. What's that SUV?
GG.
There's the GG, and Cass takes the second game, bringing it to 1-1.
Which is actually the first full series we've had.
It is.
Everything's been a 2-0 and stuff like that. So very well played there by Cass. Like I love the fact that he didn't go for the super aggressive, pretty much put it in his natural proxy.
Yeah, Snute would have seen it. Snute would have absolutely seen it.
And Snute went for a full-on scout as well. He didn't just poke out of his natural to see what was going on. He went for a full-on scout towards the watchtower to make sure that wasn't happening. Build order-wise, there was very intelligent play.
Build order win. And really good micro as well, because if those we saw the drones very almost get us around, that would have been a game over.
Yeah, that was a lot of good timing as well, because it was like the Marines got to the bottom of the ramp
just as the reinforcements arrived,
and then also when the SUVs got in, and Snute overcommitted, or overextended rather, with his drones, and he lost too many. Pretty much at that point, in my opinion, it was game.
It was.
Well, I did say GG.
You did indeed say GG, and you were right. I was just, if he did manage to kill off those Marines, he might have had a chance. But
Maybe.
Those Marines did in fact get to the bunker.
Yeah, that was. It's hard. Like I said, that's a build that's coming back recently, because we hadn't actually seen it for a very long time. Oh,
well, the 2 racks has always been around. It always has been, and we're on Frost for this next game.
This is Snute's choice.
Indeed, gonna be very interesting. Both players are ready, so we're about to head into game number 3 of
Ace
this
match.
best of 3 series. Ace match.
Match point for both players.
Yes, I am so excited.
Yeah,
that was really good. I'm really curious to see whether Cass is going for a similar build, or we're gonna see some mind games.
Ooh, on Frost, fair enough. 4GG did do it. I don't think Kaz is ballsy enough to take that much of a risk. He will take a lot of risks, and in my opinion, Kaz is a calculated risk person. Where some people, they do go for that really balls out. I don't care. I'm just gonna if it doesn't work, I lose. If it does work, I win.
Indeed, we are now, however, into the 3rd game, so it is time to do the introductions. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the top right-hand corner of oh, this isn't Frost.
Yeah, that's.
Is it Frost?
Yeah.
Oh, so it is. I am blind. I'm completely blind. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frost, playing for Team Empire as the Blue Terran, we have Cass. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as the Red Zerg, playing for Team Liquid, we have Snute.
Yep. Now, once again, another 4-player map. So, this is, once again, whenever you get a 4-player map, you're always going to be more than likely to scout your opponent later. This means that you can take risks, and they normally pay off by the time your opponent does realize what's going on. And by that point, you have the advantage. So, there's a lot of things to come into play. This is why, if people are watching this is why you always see the greediest play on 4-player maps normally, because they can get away with it. And once again, we could have a command center first out cast. This is a very popular map. This is, for the time being, because Altruism is a bit of a mixed map. Some people like it, some people don't. It's not in many tournaments, whereas Frost is in pretty much everyone. It is the Team Liquid map making contest number 2 winner. Now, what I was going to say with that is, of course, we have a command center first, so yeah. This is the map where you always see it, especially against Protosses. They love it on this map, and I hate it.
True. You hate it, do you?
Just a bit.
That is because you are a Protoss, sir.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I just all in them off one base. Dude, I realized that command center first gets beaten pretty hardcore by what was it, 4-gate Warp Prism all in. It's really good. Yeah. And so there's of course the racks for Kaz. Now once again, we saw game number 1. He should go for something different. Oh, sorry, for something pretty much identical. The only thing that would vary is the follow-up. So that's going to be something like if he goes for the Banshees, if he goes for a 3rd command center faster, something like that. But we should definitely see a reactor factory soon enough.
Indeed, I would agree. But at the moment, it's just a standard game. We're not going to see too much variation here. This Overlord is not going to scout Cass yet, so is going to begin heading back up towards the upbase.
I think Snute scouted this tower after 4GG. Because this is Snute was on the bottom left, 4GG was in the top left. He proxied at that watchtower.
Yeah.
You know, it's a ballsy move to go for that, because obviously if Snute was the top right, like, that's so far away from the Marines, but Snute was in the bottom left. And Snute actually did scout it out with the drone, but just too late. This time
didn't have the time to react.
yeah, he was like, oh, actually, I should scout for a proxy. But you know, the Marines were already being produced, and you're waiting at the watchtower, so the drone went through the smoke and just died. And you know, Snute is now incorporating a scout in the tower with the Overlord. So I like it. All right, so that's the factory as well, and he is producing a couple of Marines here. So I guess his gas timing was a bit off.
The gas timing is a bit off with me, but can never go wrong with a couple Marines here and there.
Oh, yeah.
Help defend, get a bit of harassment down as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But of course, you know, in comparison to the first game where he went for the
straight into reactor.
I think it was a reactor
yeah.
first, and then he swapped it. No, it was actually a factory, and then he swapped it over.
Yes, that was it.
Because if you start the reactor first, obviously it takes 25 seconds for a Marine to produce. So if you start the factory at 25 seconds later, you can squeeze out those 2 Marines. Now, there's the double gas for Snute, so this is a little bit different. One in the main, one in the natural. Game number 1, he went for 1 gas. We can't really compare or look at builds that they done in the last game because it was a 2 rack. So, you know, Kaz...
Yeah. Well, we can compare them and say that Snute is doing 100% better than he was last game, as in the fact that he is currently not dead.
Oh, Kaz, move that Marine faster, Kaz. I don't think he'll actually get this.
Oh, no, that will escape by the skin of its tentacle.
Oh. A little bit of a mistake there. Of course, if anyone's wondering, he should have kind of stutter stepped to get there faster. Because, of course, you know, when you shoot and it moves out of range, you move forward, then you shoot. It takes longer. So, a little bit of a mistake there. You know, a free Overlord at this stage in the game is a little bit of a win there, actually. So,
indeed, at the beginning of the game, every mineral counts.
Absolutely. So, Kaz is going to mix up the style and build that he is going for. He has started the third. In game number 1, by now, he was going for the starport with the Cloak Banshees, so we're not going to see that. And he does go for stim.
Ooh.
A very fast stim, actually.
Early aggression, maybe?
Yeah, well, also it should be bio as opposed to mech.
Yes, well, there are Hellions still being produced, though.
Yeah, of course.
Hellion Marine drop? Do we have a starport?
Not just yet. You know, we still have about 150 seconds until the stim finishes up.
Yes.
So he should drop 2 extra racks, add on 2 extra reactors for them, and hit with a nice little timing, because you should lift off the factory and add on the starport onto that.
It's double upgrades as well, so this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's
gonna hurt a lot.
That is a lot of damage output. Now, only now has Kaz started scouting. He kind of knows his opponent's either in the bottom right or the bottom left because of that Overlord direction. Because if he was in the top left,
it would have got there much sooner.
Exactly, and it would have come from that direction. Snute is getting his own 1-1, and we do have roaches as well. So, you know, similar start to the first game here into, you know, for both the players. It's just the follow-ups.
It is a very nice wall off from Snute here, though. You're going to be able to stopping these Hellion run-bys dead in their tracks, and nope, they will survive.
Yeah, I thought he was going to maybe attack his move one of his own Hellions. We do have a lot of roaches. He's not doing a roach timing, is he? He is going for a +1 roach attack.
He might be. There are quite a lot of roaches, as you said, and are there any other tech buildings really here at the moment?
Not too many. And he's getting his roach speed, which is at a decent timing, actually. So
I think it's roaches.
Yeah.
There's nothing else really out here for it to be.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to later go for the Hydras as well. He should. And of course, you know, Hydras with the recent buffer a little bit more
good.
Just a little bit. And yeah, it's definitely bio, as we can see the armories being added on. And the 3rd command center has already landed. But here comes all, you know, that production. Everything's lifting off the starport.
Starport is just about to begin production. It is quite late. But he has so many units here, he's going to be able to basically survive any kind of attack that Snute throws at him.
Yeah, this is going to be a 1-1 roach speed timing. So he is up to 18 roaches, a couple more in production. He does want to make sure that Kaz does not spot these. If Kaz comes in here,
he spotted 2 roaches.
Yeah, that was well done. So, you know, he left them there, run up 2 to scare the Hellions away.
You can see the roaches have speed, though. Well, he's about to anyway. Oh, nice micro there, though. Able to keep that roach alive. This one, however, is kind of doomed. But here we go. Suddenly roaches. Yeah. And Kaz has to get out of there. Too sweet. And needs to begin producing more units. 2 is on the... Oh, sorry. 2 attack is on the way. And the marine armor to help them survive.
Yeah, now we have the melee upgrade and the carapace upgrade as well. You know, number 2. But we do have tanks in production. Oh, and Kaz...
SCV's pulling back in.
Tank There is no high ground vision granted by any overlord, so the tank on the high ground does a lot of extra damage. 2 more bunkers being added in. One will get picked off super quick there. Immediately one-shotted, pretty much. And the Hellions here, adding in a bit of extra splash damage. What is Snute going to react? We have to wait till we see some drones. And he is taking a 4th base as well, so he is macroing up very well behind this. So he's not all in or something like that.
Indeed. Cass finishing off his ball will likely definitely going to have to pick up this command center.
Yep.
Oh, manages to pull that out before taking the second volley of damage as well. Spire on the way for Snute as well, though.
Yeah, Kaz only picking up 5 Marines in this Overlord, and he should get spotted. Oh wow, that could really go quite far before it gets spotted, and the roaches do turn around, so they should be home to defend. There's the Spire, so I think Snute wanted to go for a time-in, it got scouted, didn't work out, and he's reacted and transitioned pretty much to his limb muter style, which he's so good at. But this drop though, this is not going to get scouted until just now, and I don't think Snute has. Okay, he has.
There are roaches. The roach speed makes it very easy for them to respond to this kind of thing. And oh, has he got it already set to drop? Nope. You're gonna fly right on out of there. And here come the Hellions though, gonna try and split attack at the same time.
There?
I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he did either. And that's about 6 Hellions, so they can absolutely destroy this mineral line if they do get into it. 1 queen, second queen here.
Done. Oh no. Oh no. Welcome to the barbecue. You are all invited.
8.
And let's have a look here. 10 workers killed. But the units killed tab did just kind of help out Snute a lot. Marines also in the mineral line will get picked off. Medevac not going to pick them up. Is there a queen here to help pick that off? Nope, there's a spore crawler though. And that will get chased on out.
So yeah, that was a good trade for Kaz. Just about. Overall units lost is in his favor by 7 minerals, so not a massive amount.
By 7?
7 resources.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Like 7 resources literally, so very close. But the fact that he's trading army units for workers gives him an advantage, because you have to incorporate the time that it takes to mine the cost back for a drone.
Although, I would once again like to point out that Snute is once again on 87 workers.
Yeah. He's taking a book out of Scarlet's page, isn't he? Like,
he likes
page
his
out
workers.
Scarlet's
I
book.
think someone needs to give him a drone plush.
Well, to be fair, he just won the Seat Story Cup 2, won on the weekend, so he's in good form at the moment. And Snute is one of my all-time favorites. So
he is a very good player. I've had very much the pleasure to meet him and TLO in person at ESET.
We were there.
Brilliant.
He won it.
He did.
This is actually quite scary. We do have 69 Marines, and we just had about 15 meters pop. Actually, 9 with 6 in production, so we're going to have 15 in a second. And okay, now we're going to be up to 20 very soon.
So many Marines, but also so many muters. This is going to be ugly, because Marines kind of good against this entire army. It's the question of where the engagement is, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we have actually many Banelins here? We have Banelins. Do we have Banelin speed? Yes, we do. So that's looking good. The command center will spot all these roaches going up for a bigger counterattack, and Kaz has to react. He should see it now as his
there we go, straight to the bunker. Up goes the supply depots. And are those Marines coming back? I don't think they're coming back. He's just using the ones that are at home. Tank also joining the fray, not even going into siege mode. Just going to A-move in. These roaches going to be able to do quite a lot of damage, though.
And, a single tank will get picked off. That's a nice little win there. The meter's flying up here. If the turret gets picked off, that's a nice little win as well.
These Marines all getting stuck on each other, trying to kill these roaches. Really needs to micro them a bit to pull them in and allow them to kill off these roaches much quicker. Muters have been chased back by the large Marine force.
Yeah, so that was actually really well held. I thought that would go a lot worse. How many workers did... 15. So it's 15 v12, and it's 63 v86. But of course, meals and stuff like that. But the new base here, it should be okay once he starts landing them. And the creep here is actually forcing a lot of scans, so his meals are limited by that.
Indeed, he does have quite a lot of command centers though, so he's not going to have too many. He's just going, oh my god, the flock.
Yeah, this is a scary army. It's max v max now. So
oh my god, if he could get attack here, that concave's going to be built. Turn the Marines around. Where are those other Marines going? You need them to fight this. Those mutants can just take down that Marine army here, and to get a nice roach attack from the high ground here. Some of the shortest ranged units just completely harassing this worker line. And here we go, there are some banelings here as well.
Oh, the tanks
have only just gone up. Mutas, Marines completely abandoned the tanks right now. Banelings going through, but Nice able to keep all those Marines alive. And now it's pretty much just Mutas and a couple banelings. No more tanks though, but there's not much for the tanks to hit anymore.
Definitely. Snute nearly committed, over-committed, then nearly losing all his mutas as they run into a concave. This base and the macro hatch should get picked off here. It's so hard for him to run into this and have a good engagement because of the choke from the hatcheries.
We have some banelings though.
Here
we go.
Here it comes. Cass
so
goes split.
many Zerglings. Nice splits there, but the Mutas, so much damage and everything dies.
Yep. But in my opinion, they had, they kind of done a good job there. More workers have been killed by Snute, about another 10 throughout that by those roaches. And Kaz is a bit down in supply. Overall, the army supply is not too far apart because of the worker difference. But Kaz has to react to it.
Not sieged. Oh, but there's a planetary fortress though, and didn't focus down the tanks. Marines were blocking them quite nicely. Very lucky for Kaz there, I think.
Yeah. Now I love, yeah, I was gonna say I love the fact that we haven't got swarm hosts this game.
Yes,
and I was gonna point out because Snute is actually behind on resources lost. That's pretty much what you expect in this matchup because the Zergs always do mine more. So. That's okay. Now, Kaz is limited on his multi-pronged attacks, really. He hasn't gone for many drops or anything like that, apart from the very, very first one with the Hellion run by. But I would like to see him try and... Okay, here we are. As I do say that, he is... Oh, no, leaves two Marines. There we are. And there we are. He does pick him back up. But yeah, I want to see him... Wow, this creep spread is incredible. Holy Jesus. It's up here to here. That's so much.
Oh, getting quite a bit there, but... Tanks able to kill off all those Zerglings, but a couple have made it to the mineral line. Seeing some Marines straight into the bunker, and that will be dealt with. Mutas not wanting any of that, but we're seeing the reinforcing banelings.
And that will force a pick up here, and the medevac should get picked off by...
Nope.
Oh!
Bit slow there, and medevacs, get out of there. Need to get out of there before they do get killed off. They are boosting for freedom.
Yeah, and they
will
should be just okay. They should just fly into the turrets and...
Those missile turrets, though.
Yeah, Snute's around anyway.
Indeed, Snute is also now switching to Ultralists because Cass relying incredibly heavily on his Marines.
Where are the Marauders? There should be a box by here saying Marauders.
He has no idea about these Ultralists. He hasn't got a clue. He still thinks he's playing Muta at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have 4 Ultras now, so it's getting scary. Once they add on Chitinous Plate, and of course, they do massive reduction against the Marine damage. And these Marine pack is going to get completely surrounded. That means the medevacs will get picked off as well. And, that
was not nice. I would also like to point out, the fact we're saying he's going to be needing Marauders soon, there are only 3 tech labs in this entire game. He's not going to be able to produce Marauders at any speed at all.
Alright, so this is going to be interesting. Now, Kaz has got a nice position on this side of the map. He's going for this 5th base down here. He is cleaning up the creep, which he really does need to do. It's getting scary. It's going to be a stage where he can't take bases because the creep is there denying it.
Indeed. This is an incredibly spread out army, though. Ultras have been spotted. We will likely see some Marauders on the way soon. 1 Marauder!
Well, there's 2 tech labs on tanks, so that means there's one on... Just one on a barracks, so that limits Kaz's production.
There are a lot of tanks, though. If the tanks do focus fire these Ultralists, then they can do it, but the problem is that means the tanks aren't focus firing the Zerglings.
Yeah, it's literally all down to the it's pretty much down to Snute to kill the Marines. The tanks should kill nearly everything on the ground. But here it comes. Oh no, Snute turns around. Takes a few pot shots, and oh no, his units are going the wrong location.
He split it up. The A move there. This isn't looking pretty. We're just seeing dancing all over the place. Nice pick up there. The Mutas, though, they want it. They want it, but they can't have it.
Oh, great play from Kaz, and he is also going for this base yet again. Maybe going to pick it off. I don't know if he's actually killed. No, he hasn't spotted the other base just above it, and this one will only just about survive. But the units go over to the left, and Kaz comes down super to the bottom right to, of course, try and pick off that base. And he's going to drop units on the high ground to force a very hard engagement from Snute.
And incredible pathing also from Snute. They're sending his Ultralisk and Zerglings to their death. And here we go. Some Zerglings also deciding to go to their deaths. Kaz really needs to attack with this.
And also the fact that Snute only has melee units with the Mutas. Yes. So, he can't do anything against this. But actually, we do have the full-on engagement.
Oh, God. There's not that many Marines. The Marines are all split up, fighting elsewhere. The tanks are doomed. Doomed! However, Snoot's kind of losing everything at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. He might lose his, he might take out the main army.
Oh,
Kaz
very nice. But we're seeing the second Marine force is about to head into another base and do some damage.
He needs to keep macro in his economy, or his bank is getting large, and he's dropping in supply, so he needs to make sure that he doesn't fall behind to any counterattacks or something like that.
14 Marines on the way, 2 Marauders and 2 tanks and 2 medevacs, so he is keeping on top of his money, able to pick up again, and this is what makes Cass such an incredible player. Multi-pronged attacks have always been his forte.
Yeah, and I did say, I would like to see these happen more, and since he started doing it, he's doing such a good job.
To pick up. Oh, no, it's dead. Yep,
that's
everything.
Oh, and that's a lot of medevacs. How many does he have? That's his last one. He has 2 more in production, but that's a lot of healing. He's not going to get a couple of Marines. Ooh, okay, is he going to scan or just, no, stimps him up?
Yep, just wanted to run faster.
Just going to scout, pretty much.
The Cass had the need for speed and information. However, those Marines will go down. Another base has just gone out for Snute.
Yeah,
so he's going to be able to throw some workers onto that. Second, he mines out, which I believe is his natural, which is just about to mine out.
Yeah, and he's really all over the place as well. His third base got picked off, and his income is at 52 v 63. He just built a couple of extra workers there to get ahead again, or get back up to even pretty much. Because he has loads of command centers. His production facilities are amazing, so he can really grind out these units. He does need to spend his bank though. This is getting scary. Look at the difference.
He's spending it as fast as he can. He's building 10 Marines at a time, but the problem is his bank is entirely minerals and gas, and he can only build Marines, the cheapest units. And here we go. Here's the micro. Needs to stay alive. Retreat to the army. Siege up the tanks. And the Ultralisks getting shot down.
Great micro.
Oh, that was so close.
That was great micro and chitin coming out of Kaz there to an extent. Of course, the Ultras.
Oh no. He's pushing it. He's pushing it, and here we go again.
The Banelings are with the army this time, so that does mean he has to be so careful.
The Mutas! Why would you go there? So many Mutas do just die. There's so many Marines out, and we're seeing another drop out of Cass.
And Snoot's a bit out of position. He does have. He grabs his entire army to react this. The base will get picked off, and maybe a couple of the workers as he does try and chase them down. And that was a decent trade he picks up. Gonna drop onto the high ground, and the Mutas are gonna have a bit of a hard time. Yeah, this is actually getting scary now. We have 42 Mutalisks out. Holy Jesus!
That's a quarter of his supply is in Mutalisks. That's so deadly.
A quarter? That's 88 supply.
Oh no, that's half.
That's nearly half the supply. Yeah.
Oh god.
They don't actually have the flyer attack. Which is
he doesn't need it apparently. Here we go, having to once again retreat. Banelings chasing down. They want it. Tanks sieging up and moving out. And the Mutalisks can now pretty much take on anything. I think they can actually take on these Marines in a favorable engagement. Is he going to do it? He's going to do it. He's taking on the Marines. And how many Marines are left?
But
there's 30 Marines on the map though.
Yeah, but the thing is, he can't afford to keep doing this. He just lost what? He's at 38 now, so he's just at least lost a minimum of 6, depending on how many he produced. And he can't afford to keep producing mutas and losing them to cheap units, even if he is having cost-efficient trades.
I would also like to point out, not only cheap units, there's now 2 4s.
Yeah, so he has to micro as well now. He can't just fly in and just A-move and just let them do the damage. He has to box them, yeah. And of course, most people pretty much know what the magic boxing is now, but of course, you pretty much make the mutas not stack, pretty much, so they don't take the extra splash damage when they do.
You move in and you use the stop command, basically, which instead of forcing them to continue stacking while they're attacking, makes them stop and move out from each other. Like you would if you rallied all of your Vikings to one spot and just left them there, they will spread out.
Oh, but the 2 armies is in 2 different parts here. The mutas are away from the ultras, and when it's this many mutas, they have to be in the fight.
You need them with the fight, or you're going to lose. There's so many Banelings, though. Needs to siege up. Right, Cass cannot be caught out here. Tanks sieging up, but the Marines will hop at the Ultras just in time. Tanks are now up, and the Marines will be able to pick off a couple of the units as they do flee. Oh wow, those Marines get caught completely out. Oh no, the tanks are now undefended. Careful, Cass. Oh no! Down go all the tanks. The 4s, though, are focus firing the Ultralisks. The 4s go down. It's just Marines versus everything right now. Marines versus the world, and 1 tank. And the Mutas reign supreme once more. I'm seeing a theme.
We do have 28 now. Once again, the units lost. It's actually starting to even up. That was a really good fight. But the economy, once again, of Snute, I don't think can stand against this punishment. He's down to pretty much like 1 mining base, which is just now getting resaturated as the other base does get picked off. The strangling units will get picked off. long distance or meals being long distance mind or something there before the command center landed.
Indeed.
And
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Nom 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 with the Ultralisk. Down go the mules. And with that, pretty much Cass's farm.
But it looks like Cass is going to be able to take a base from his opponent in return. And he is coming here to defend at the SCVs.
There's not enough there. Snute can just engage this. But to be fair, Snute does not notice. He does not have high ground vision.
Yeah, exactly. It is 120 supply v 157. That's 61 army supply v 114 because of the worker difference. So Kaz does have to be very careful, especially now that the Marines...
No. Oh no,
my God.
Ultralisks, you going to join the fight here? No? Just going to let the Mutalisks do it? Okay then, Mutalisks are now killing the entire army of Cass. Cass is down to 95 supply. There is no anti-air except for this 1-4. And these Ultralisks and Zerglings are about to see to that.
This is such a good game so far. We're 32 minutes into it. A couple of extra Marines are going to fight Zerglings, which they cannot do. They need to go for the Mulas, and Kaz will not continue as he does tap out. And I guess that's okay. Like that, I thought he was still in that for a little bit, but
He was.
like,
He played really well.
he was starting to run low on resources and stuff like that. So he couldn't keep trading, even though I guess the big deal was leaving all those tanks open at the watchtower for the Mulas.
There were no Marines blocking those tanks. The
Yeah.
Mutas were just able to fly in and completely destroy everything. Zerglings just completely ignored them.